right now at 6.
You don't want to see a bomb squad truck outside.
A suspicious package found at SFO, forcing one of its busiest terminals to evacuate during the busy holiday travel rush. Plus,
2 big shots, like boom, boom, really scary.
Neighbors in San Jose jolted awake by the sound of gunfire. What we know about the quadruple shooting outside a local business. And a lot of people spending the last days of 2025 cleaning up following this week's storms, including battered boats in Santa Cruz Harbor.
It was super windy. All of our metal furniture all got blown into a big pile. All the garbage dumpsters, everything just got blown around. All the Hobie cats blew into a big pile. I've been down here for like 30 years and never seen anything like this.
This is CBS News Bay Area with Juliette Goodrich.
Good evening. Thanks for joining us. It's 6. The latest on another round of rain across the Bay Area in just a moment. But first, we start in the South Bay, where police just released new information about an early morning shooting that left 1 dead and 3 injured. Brad Hamilton has more with the latest.
Esteban Holloway has owned a San Jose business on South First Street for 9 years. And in all that time, he says a frustrating trend just doesn't seem to end.
When it really comes down to it, though, we're kind of victims of seeing a lot of crazy stuff.
The latest incident happened near this furniture store on South First Street. San Jose police say officers found 3 men shot early Friday morning there. All 3 were rushed to the hospital with life-threatening injuries. A 4th victim, an adult woman, showed up at the hospital a short time later, also shot. Tonight, we learned that one of the male victims did not survive. The other 3 victims are all expected to live.
This is all relatively new. This is a new neighbor here that's moved in for the furniture store.
Police say that the suspect fled before officers arrived, and the motive remains under investigation. Violetta Juarez lives right near where the shooting took place. She says whatever was going on leading up to the incident kept her up all night.
Super strong gun, like 2 big shots, like boom, boom, really scary at 3 in the morning. But the people there start yelling and screaming around 1:30 or 2 a.m.
Violetta says it's not unusual to see crime scenes in the neighborhood, but a shooting just a few hundred feet from where she lives has left its mark.
Definitely scary. We need to talk to the police officers and see what we can do as neighbors to help the city.
As for Esteban, he says safety in the neighborhood has been questionable for a long time.
It's been an idea of mine to maybe get some type of patrolling system that all the people in the area pay and contribute towards, but nobody really wants to do it.
He does hope something changes after this violence, and in his mind, even a little bit of protection would go a long way in bringing back peace of mind to this neighborhood.
It would just be nice again to have a little bit more activity around this area, especially considering how frequently this is happening now.
It was a hectic morning at SFO today as officials shut down and evacuated Terminal 1 on one of the busiest travel days of the year. Police tell us that around 8:15 this morning, a canine officer alerted his handler about a suspicious package at the terminal. They evacuated the area and then redirected flights to other terminals while they investigated. Police expect that surveillance cameras could aid them in finding the owner of the package.
The San Francisco airport is covered by a network of surveillance cameras, and that is part of our investigation as far as who dropped off the suspicious package, who the owner of the suspicious package was.
The terminal and ticket counters have since reopened, but airport officials are still telling people to expect delays. Police, meanwhile, have not said what, if anything, was found in the package. All right, turning our attention now to the weather. The National Weather Service has issued a high surf advisory and placed much of the Bay Area under a flood watch through 10 p.m. They are expecting waves of up to 25 feet, strong rip currents, and an increased risk for sneaker waves. So for more on that, let's get to meteorologist Darren Peck, who's been tracking this for the last 48 hours nonstop, it seems.
Yeah, beyond that, really, when this started. So the surf is new. The flooding is about to become a non-event for us. We're about to come to the end of that. The flood watch is still related to all of the rain that we've been getting. And that's really about to wind down. If you take a look at what's happening on the virtual map, you'll see that the showers are pretty much kind of fizzling. There is an hour's worth of radar on here right now, and you can see the rain falling apart down here as it clears the South Bay. There is more where this came from. And if we look off the coast of California, here's the cold front we were just looking at. This is live radar as our cold front begins to really weaken. But all we have to do is put the next couple of hours on here. And you can see there are a few more rounds that are going to try and get here. Nothing crazy, shouldn't be terribly widespread, but it'll be intense enough should you happen to get this weak little system right over you that you could get a brief little downpour, in which case then that flood watch, which stays in effect till 9 o'clock tonight, would be in order. But for most of us, it's really, that's in the past. Here's the last little thing to watch. Tonight at 10 o'clock, isolated, down the coastline. So most of us are not really going to experience much of anything here. But if you happen to be the location that gets that little isolated cell, it's not going to go exactly that way, then you get a brief little downpour. Tomorrow, we're out of this. Tomorrow's so different. We're about to enter a nice little 4-day period where the thought of rain is so far from our minds, and then it's coming back by January 1st. We're going to look at that. I'll show you what could be the New Year's Day or January 2nd at this point, rainmaker. For now, Juliet, back to you.
All right, Darren, thank you. As for the continued cleanup from these storms, PG&E crews have been working for days now to try and restore power to everyone in the Bay Area. So here's a live look at their current outage map. So you can actually see several thousand people still without power this evening, but a vast improvement to what we were seeing yesterday and the day before, where tens of thousands of customers were in the dark. And then Cruz in San Francisco spent the day clearing fallen branches and trees across the city. In the Excelsior, one crew had to remove a pear tree from the sidewalk after tree limbs fell.
Unfortunately, the pear is not salvageable because of the gravity of the limb failure. It split the tree almost in half.
So crews tell us they have had about 150 service requests, but none involving really huge trees. So the most severe damage is further south, like at Santa Cruz Harbor, where boats were ripped around during the rough weather. Scott Rates has the story.
The cleanup underway at the Santa Cruz Harbor. Powerful winds busting boats. Chris Warren is a member here.
This hull is totaled.
He's been spending his Friday helping clean up the mess left behind from the storm.
Put some sandbags under it, try not to make it worse.
Those winds tossing boats all over the parking lot of the harbor.
This boat was about 200 feet over there on the trailer, and it got picked up off the trailer, got blown completely over here.
Several boats damaged beyond repair.
We had basically a tangle of 3 smashed boats sitting right here. Some of these boats definitely are totaled.
The cleanup process can be tedious.
You know, there's a lot of little bits and pieces to take off before we move everything.
Many losing their boats altogether, masts bent or ripped in half, catamarans ripped right off their trailers.
My friend's boat here that was piled up, it was actually sitting on the ground, and it completely got picked up and turned on its side. Mast was bent in half.
And others,
I survived!
Todd Johnson was one of the lucky boat owners. His catamaran was not damaged.
Yeah, I felt very lucky to be not having anything happen to it.
There were wind gusts up to 90 miles per hour here at the harbor. Last year's storms sunk at least 15 boats here and did more than $20 million in damage. This storm not causing as much damage as last time, and fortunately no one was hurt here. The cleanup does continue.
Clearing the parking lot up, putting the boats back where they were, trying to notify as many of the owners.
A cleanup that could take several days.
And stay with us for continuing coverage of these storms. We'll keep you updated on the air, on the free CBS News app, and on KPIX.com. All right, still ahead, right here at 6, we'll check in on the communities down in Southern California as people there continue to literally dig their homes and cars out of feet of mud following this week's storms. But first, we'll head up to the Sierra, where the heavy snowfall triggered an avalanche today that injured 2 ski patrols. All right, take a look at this. This is a live look at conditions right now at Mammoth Mountain, where today they had to suspend operations following an avalanche that injured 2 ski patrol people. Resort officials posting on social media that one was serious enough they had to be transported out of the area for further treatment, but have not given an update on either condition so far. So Connor McGill joining us live now with more on this. I understand, Connor, you had such poor visibility, you couldn't even make it up the mountain right now.
Yeah, well, those conditions out on the roadway is quite difficult, to say the least. We are now in our 3rd day of covering the snow in the Sierra, and as you can see right now, we're in Pollock Pines traveling along US 50 eastbound, and it is red lights for miles. We have yet to see snow where we are, as it is a bit higher. But again, over the last 2 days, we have traveled on the 80 and now the US 50, and, you know, similar conditions out on the roadways, quite a mess with a lot of spinouts all over the place. We spoke with CHP South Lake Tahoe about what they've seen over the last couple of days. Take a listen.
Yesterday and today, we have seen a lot of people trying to get through chain control without the proper traction control devices. Some of them have even bypassed chain control and created quite a mess, specifically on Carson Pass and Echo Summit, which is Highway 89 and US 50 respectively.
Now US 50, quite unique because it is 1 lane up eastbound and 1 lane back on westbound. So the conditions, as you can tell, if there's a spin out, it really closes the whole highway here, to say the least. So we're going to continue to track conditions here. We're hoping to get to the snow at some point in time. It just might take us a little longer. Juliet?
Yeah, absolutely. It took us along for the ride. Be safe out there. Connor, thank you so much.
Perfect example of how tricky it can be to try and time traveling in the Sierra. Saturday, tomorrow, great day for that. Here at home, we're about to get a break as well. Not tonight, we still have an isolated shower or 2 possible. But as we look at tomorrow, this forecast is going to start changing. National Weather Service is already starting to take down flood watches for large swaths of the bay. Your part of the bay might be next. We'll take a look at the whole forecast coming up after the break.
Your community, your news, powered by KPIX. CBS News Bay Area. Watch anywhere, anytime. Stay informed and connected. Trusted local news when you want it. CBS News Bay Area. Watch free on any device.
Start your day with us and open your world.
Time to open up those windows and get this day started.
The power of CBS News.
It is a historic day in news.
Taking you around the globe, across the country.
With federal, live, and
into your community.
To the South Bay, major changes.
And Bay Area weather from a whole new perspective.
Let's head underneath this cloud layer.
CBS News Bay Area's Morning Edition. Weekdays at 6 on KPIX.
Southern California is prepping for another round of heavy rain over the last few days. 3 people have been killed. More than 100,000 homes and businesses are without power. First responders have made several rescues on the roads. The mountain town of Wrightwood near LA was hit particularly hard by the downpour, which triggered flash flooding and mudslides. Video shows homes and cars buried in the mud and debris yesterday. Residents were placed on an evacuation warning, but that was lifted just this evening.
The sediment is all the way to the top because the wash behind just completely overflowed. Wrightwood is an incredible community, whether it's floods or fires or now this, they really pull together and they're out helping each other.
The National Weather Service says many areas could see up to 8 inches of rain. That would make this the wettest Christmas season in Southern California in modern history. It's been a lot, back to back to back. Hopefully we get some relief, and the person to know that is standing right next to me, Darren Peck.
We're about to get a break for a
good.
few days, and then there is more rain coming by early in 2026, basically the end of next week. Let's go in order. We were showing you the story a little bit earlier in the newscast of the snow in the Sierra and how that's still problematic. We're kind of quieting down here, but when you look at the last 3 hours of radar on here, what you see is the leftover cold front that did come through here. Follow this over. Come in for a closer look at the mountains near Tahoe. That little front is now pointed directly at our section of the mountains. We're 80 and 50 and Tahoe, and it's just steadily producing snow up there right now. So there's going to be delays up there now. There were times today where you could get over just fine. And that was always going to be the trouble with trying to travel today in the Sierra. Right now is a bit of a slowdown and a pause. It's going to be so much better tomorrow when things begin to clear out. Take a look at how things will play out for us tonight. A little bit left for the rain. This is what we looked at in the last visit. So let's go a little more into detail on this. Let's get specifics on what to expect tonight and how things will play out in terms of what to expect from the forecast over the next few days. If we look at the snow that's still coming down in the Sierra, you can see this is still just looking from now forward. There's still another near half a foot of snow that's going to fall on Donner Pass, a half a foot of snow that's going to fall on Echo Summit. That's Highway 50. And then there's I-80 up there. And of course, the resorts will do great in and around Tahoe, really overnight tonight. And then tomorrow, probably going to be a bluebird day up there with fresh snow, several feet of it. Tomorrow will be a fantastic day for those who are there now. And then it'll be a good day to travel up there. And then you just get up there a little bit late in the afternoon. You could still enjoy it if you're lucky enough to be able to do that. All right, let's talk about those of us who will be here. What will the rain look like? Well, in the Futurecast on a slow replay, the only area to watch really would be from now through about 1 a.m., as a few isolated showers will probably graze the bay. There won't be a lot to that, and most of them look like they're probably going to miss anyway. It'll be quick in, quick out, and then done. We look ahead to tomorrow, and you'll see the blue sky that shows up once we get into that section. Here we are tomorrow in the morning, and that is blue sky for us. Maybe a few high clouds will show up as we get into Sunday, and then those will clear out as we get into Sunday once the sun has come up, and that's going to be another great looking day. The weekend really does look fantastic. So we need to talk about how cold it is about to get here in the next few days in the intervening time between now and the next storm. But while I've got the forecast imagery here, I want you to see the next storm. And we already know the weekend looks great. Saturday and Sunday look wonderful. So does Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday. Nothing going on here. And then you see how this next storm comes together for the end of next week. So New Year's Day, Thursday. Wednesday night, New Year's Eve, is almost certainly going to be fine. This system has slowed down a bit. We're looking at January 1st here. This is the main branch of the system we'd be concerned about. This is some of the moisture in the fuel to work with. So this is relatively warm, some tropical moisture coming our way. At the same time, an area of low pressure dive bombs down out of the Gulf of Alaska. Those are good ingredients for a storm that could produce a good amount of snow, which we still need in the Sierra. Also give us some rain. Watch how they come together. Now you've got the rain to work with. This will be focused primarily in Southern California. We'll get our batch of this as we get likely into January 1st or January 2nd. Doesn't look like much rain here. Quarter, half an inch of rain. Maybe it's early. Hang out. Give it a few days. Details will become clearer. But the snow production looks fantastic. This looks like it could, should it come together in that way. We're talking about a moment ago how the Sierra, at least at the Central Sierra Snow Lab, which is really kind of like the official and the main source to go for information on this, is sitting at 80% of average for snowpack for where they should be for this time of year. That's good, considering that they were pretty much near zero before this storm started. Can we take a look at morning lows for tomorrow? Let's do it. So we'll start out, and it's going to be cold tomorrow. This is what I wanted to talk about in the intervening time between now and the next storm by the end of next week. No rain, blue sky, cold mornings. Look at Los Gatos. That's tomorrow, upper 30s. You'll be in the low 40s in San Jose. Don't let this catch you off guard tomorrow. These numbers are not record-breaking, that we don't have freeze warnings, but you haven't been living with this for about the last week. It's been relatively warm in the overnight lows. That means this is going to feel cold when you get out to start the day tomorrow. So just be aware and start thinking ahead for that. Don't be surprised when you notice that it's all of a sudden feels colder than it had. All right, 7-day forecast. No rain until we get to that Thursday, Friday time frame. We'll keep an eye on the details of it as it comes together. That was an early look at it. Could be a good snowmaker, but we'll have much more on that as we get closer to it. Juliet, over to you.
All right, well, bundle up, though, when it gets cold. Okay, thanks so much, Darren. All right, and just wanted to remind everyone again to download the CBS News app for complete coverage of the next round of rain that Darren has just been talking about. And when we come back, we have a sneak peek at a pair of Hollywood superstars portraying two Oakland Raiders legends.
Severe weather is impacting millions nationwide and disrupting holiday travel. We will show you the cleanup efforts in California following record rainfall there and preparations in the Northeast as it braces for a snowstorm. That's tonight on the CBS Evening News.
Now you can get your KPIX news, weather, and live stream all in one place on the CBS News app. Download it free today.
Okay, so for all the Raiders fans still mourning the team leaving Oakland, we got our first look today at a new movie with some very familiar faces for the silver and black. Take a look.
There's only one John Madden. They didn't make another one.
I have no idea where we are, where we're coming from, or who we're throwing to.
This is the new Madden movie starring Nicolas Cage as the legendary coach and commentator John Madden, with Christian Bale playing former owner Al Davis. The movie is reported to be about him leading the Raiders to their first NFL championship, as well as the development of the iconic video game franchise that bears his name. So don't get too excited, though. It is not set to come out until next Thanksgiving. We just wanted to give you a little preview. There you go. All right, CBS Evening News is next on KPIX. Local news continues on our streaming service, CBS News Bay Area. We're back right here in 30 minutes with CBS News Bay Area at 7 just for you, and we will see you then.